Hi everyone, a very warm welcome to you. My name is Naresh Agarwal. I'm an associate professor and director of the Information Science and Technology concentration at the School of Library and Information Science at Simmons University in Boston, Massachusetts, USA. And it's my pleasure today to welcome you all to this international webinar that is being co-sponsored by the South Asia chapter of ASIS&T and the Institute of Information Management at the University of the Punjab. And it has speakers from various countries. We have speakers from Pakistan, from India, from Sri Lanka, and I'm really glad to have a lot of countries in the South Asian region coming together to do this webinar. It's one of the objectives that we've had when we started the South Asia chapter of ASIS&T. So with that, the title of today's webinar is Targeting YouTube Generations, the Library's Role Beyond COVID-19. Now, we've seen that especially in the past few years, a lot of people have been coming together with their own YouTube channels, and people are known as social media influencers. And some of us hesitate to get into that realm, and some of us are active in it. And there's also a certain amount of commitment that goes with it, because once you start with a web presence, then you have to have a periodic levels of videos that you produce. Some people typically recommend like twice a week types of videos, and or even if you're doing it once a week, in order to cater to your audience. What that means is that a lot of your free time is then spent on editing videos and doing makeup and thinking of what to speak. So that becomes and learning how to speak to yourself pretty much, or with the camera person who's there to assist you, and then having this following up on the comments and the feeds that come on later. So what I worry about with that whole thing is that 20 years later, when you think of what did you do in the last 20 years, you'd say that I spoke to myself in front of a computer for the last 20 years. You spent a big chunk of yourself doing that. So there are pros and cons to the whole thing, and it is, but it's also a big opportunity now, because you really get to reach a much wider audience than you would in a face-to-face environment in a small setting. So. But what I feel is very empowering about this whole thing is that it makes you hugely democratic, because in the past, media used to be something which was not accessible to everyone. And being on TV or being somewhere else used to be like a huge thing. And now with YouTube as a medium, and every person having a YouTube account that you could create, or having other forms of social media, what it does you is that it empowers you in a way that was unimaginable in the past. So every single person was even in a small town or a village can now imagine that, okay, I can create my own content, I can go and reach out to a wider audience, or I can tell my own story. You have a voice now, and at the same time you can get friends and admirers and other people who you can reach out to in various parts of the world. So the contribution may be big or small, but I think the big part of it is having a voice. And now, especially in the role of libraries and educational institutions, there are various ways in which now it empowers libraries as well to reach out to its audience in other ways than what they have traditionally been doing. And it gives, especially during the year of the COVID-19, I think a lot of people came up with webinars and other social media videos to reach out to the people who they could not ordinarily reach out in their classrooms. So I think this is a great opportunity, and we'll get to hear from our various speakers as to how they've been going about it. And with that, I would invite Dr. Khalid Mahmood to say a few words. Dr. Khalid.
Thank you very much, Dr. Naresh. I welcome you all. Our presenters today, a webinar from India, from Pakistan, from USA, and I'm looking at some of the participants here. The participants are from Sri Lanka, from Bangladesh as well. So I welcome you all on this webinar. So it's a very rightly move that we are talking on YouTube use in the libraries, and especially in the era of COVID and post-COVID world. So we are seeing in the world that we are bound to stay at our homes with this pandemic situation. So we are not practically able to give services in a physical mode to our users. So the YouTube or the other modes of social media is the most influential and most effective tools for giving our services. So YouTube is one of the most important social media tools. So if we look at the statistics, after Facebook, it is the second mostly used tool in the world. So this is the word of video making, and video making, is the most effective tool for communicating, for recording information, for information retrieval, for information dissemination. So in libraries, it can be used in many ways. For library promotion or marketing, we can use YouTube for information literacy instruction. We can record videos and share with our patrons or users. We can use it uh, in our communication with our users. So there are many uses of YouTube channels or YouTube videos with our users, and even with our colleagues as well. We can promote interlibrary cooperation through this social media tool. So there are many uses. So in this aspect, I think that we are very rightly talking on this topic. So I welcome you all, my friends. So I hope that today's presentations will add something in our knowledge today, and we can progress our knowledge in this area. So I will share my example also with you. I'm a faculty member at University of the Punjab in Lahore. So as a faculty member, uh, about 2.5 months before, I have also started my channel, YouTube channel. So my target audience is my students, my colleagues in the libraries, my colleagues in different universities. So I have to share many things with them. So I have found that the YouTube channel is a is an effective tool for this purpose. So I am making videos. So for this purpose, as Dr. Naresh has said that YouTube use has pros and cons. So we need infrastructure. We need sometimes we need funding for this purpose. We need software. We need to train ourselves for effective recording and editing of these videos. So there are many benefits as well as there are many problems of using this. We need better internet connection. So and many other things we need for this purpose. But in this era of post-COVID, I have found that it is the most effective way of communicating with your audience. So with these words, I formally start this program, and I hope that we will learn a lot from this program. Thank you very much, Dr. Naresh.
Thank you, Dr. Khalid. I had started my sort of a YouTube presence as well. Not on YouTube as such. I started a website called Project Oneness World, and that was in 2018. And with again the different presence in different social media and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and etc. And the idea was that to interview people in various walks of life. And I started with interviewing my outgoing dean at that point in 2018, Professor Eileen Abels. And I spent myself, the interview was done really well, and spent myself about a month editing the video. And it went out on social media. There were various rounds of sending it to her and making sure that the content was fine, and dividing it into 3 parts. And after that, I did 3 other interviews in 2018. And but those stayed with me because I didn't get the time to edit them. And they were long, and I was hoping to hire a student to be able to edit them. And I wrote various research grants, and finally I got a grant this year to get a student. So now she's working on editing them, and I hope to revive that again. So we'll be coming up again, and it will be an interview of information science professionals to begin with. But later on, I think I hope to include people from all walks of life. So yes, I think there's a big opportunity, but also it's a big time cost, and we have to try and balance it in some way. And I'm also aware that it's a very interesting time right now. As I'm looking at my clock, it is Friday morning, 10:13 a.m. in Boston, and it's 7:13 p.m. in Lahore, and 7:43 p.m. in New Delhi, and 7:43 p.m. in Colombo, and 8:13 p.m. in Dhaka. So it's really interesting to have people in various time zones right now connecting and presenting and participating in this webinar. So with that, I would like to call our next speaker, which is Dr. Mohammad Rafiq, on the use of social media in university libraries.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum, dear participants. It's my pleasure. I'm honored to be here and to present, to talk on my presentation that is about social media, use of social media in university libraries of Pakistan. I hope you are able to listen me as well as you are able to see my slides. And let's start. What will I cover? I will try to cover some sort of facts, what we got in our 2019 study, as well as what we found in our 2021 study. And I will present the findings, major findings of our study in relation to this topic. First of all, the definition, as we are well aware, social media, we may say these are the websites and applications that enable users to create and share content or to participate in social networking. And usually this social networking goes beyond the national borders and it connects the users worldwide. It offers some very easy and very standardized mechanism to be connected with other your like-minded people. It gives you recommendations. It gives you ease as well as power to make connections with other people, with other like-minded people. And what we see, I will like to give just a you can say overview and some statistics about the total user of active social media user in the world, and we can see it's a 4.20 billion, 20 billion people around the world who are active social media users, and it actually makes them 53.6% of the global population. And if we see the annual growth from January 2020 till January 2021, it's a 13.2% annual increment in the increment of the social media user that has been added in this total number, in this total figure. And total number of social media user that access through mobile phones, that is 4.15 billion. And you can see that majority of the people, majority of active social media users, they use social media through their mobile and handheld devices. And actually, it's around 98.8% social media user accessing via mobile. And it's you can say this is the media connections on go, we can say, some sort of. And if we see the statistics about Pakistan, there are in total 46 million social media users are there in and that makes 20.6% of total population of Pakistan that is connected through this media. And if we see the annual increment, that is 24%, that is more than the worldwide statistics. And this increment was 9 million people that were added in 1 year. And these statistics are from January 2020 till January 2021. And if we see, the majority of the people are almost 84.67% people, they use Facebook. And the second number is on Twitter, that is a microblogging website. And around 10% people are using Twitter from Pakistan. And YouTube is 1.75%. And same case with Instagram, LinkedIn penetration is very less in Pakistan. And what we see in Pakistan, we conducted a thesis. One of my students has completed this research under my supervision, and we received responses from 124 university libraries These were the central libraries of HEC, Higher Education Commission of Pakistan, recognized university in Pakistan. At that time, there were 187 universities and that were approached for the data collection, and only 124 universities they responded. If we see how many libraries are offering social media services, they are using social media, different tools of social media to reach their users, to deliver their library services. That is about 54%. And it's almost, we can say, half of the libraries in Pakistan, university libraries of Pakistan, they are offering, they are having some connections through social media with their users. They are also offering some sort of library services through social media. If we see the social media tools used in university libraries, we see the Facebook is widely used around in these libraries who are using social media. 90% libraries are using Facebook pages. They are making announcements. They are inviting their users. They are connecting, making connections with their users through social Facebook. Google Plus was on second place. That was 43%, and YouTube was after that, and that is around 32%. Twitter, LinkedIn, and Dailymotions and Skype were following this trend. If we see what sort of library services they are offering, what sort of communication they are doing through social media, university libraries, major library service we can sort of library service we can say, that is library news announcements through social media. They are also engaged with their user for getting online feedback and suggestions about their library improvement, about their library services, and so on. They also they publish their library rules and regulations, also announce new arrivals, library marketing. They do some sort of marketing through these tools. And as I mentioned, the Facebook is a major tool, the primary tool for library, university libraries of Pakistan. Information services are also there, and also we did not explore what sort of information services they are offering. But if we see, for example, information literacy, reference services, and presentation sharing, and so on, we can assume that these are the information services that these libraries are offering. Although real-time video call, real-time voice call, and broadcasting services are lying down on the bottom of this trend. Real-time chatting, only 15% of these university libraries are offering some sort of real-time messaging and answering these questions or their messages in real time. This is a 15%. Library videos, 24% libraries, they said they publish some sort of library videos. That may be some tutorials, some videos about library orientation and how to use library, about their section, as well as the introduction of their staff and so on. Document delivery, it's around 30%, and that they deliver some sort of articles, materials, sometimes they scan these their resources and deliver them to their users. So we can see that this is a variety of sort of services that they offer to their users. But the majority of the library services, library news announcement. I want to mention that not only in this study, but also some other studies that were conducted in 2017, 16, 18. It was mentioned in that studies. For example, Shakil, Dr. Ajaz Marai, they conducted some sort of such studies. And that studies also mentioned that the library news announcement is the major service of libraries that they offer through social media websites or social networking websites. If we see the top 5 social media services, these are there, as I mentioned earlier: library news announcements and online feedback, suggestions, library rules and regulations. Some sort of, we can say that majority of the university libraries, they are focusing to deliver information And in terms of interaction, in real-time interaction with the users, some sort of reference interviewing and providing reference services, and up to maximum, we can say, to maximize the impact of the library services and to meet the user requirements. Social media use is still underutilized, I can say. But we see our research also cover the perceived opportunities. We explore the perceived opportunities that libraries see. I also want to mention that the perspective of this study was institutional perspective. It was not individual perspective. It means that we covered the library, that related person who was serving as a system librarian or some sort of, you can say, who was managing social media web pages. We tried to locate that person, particularly that person, from the websites of the universities, university libraries, and to approach them. And we got these results. Almost, we actually presented a long list of the opportunities that are being offered by the social media for the libraries, to the libraries. And I only listed just a top, some of top opportunities, perceived opportunities that libraries see. Libraries are very much agree that social media offer some opportunity to increase awareness about the library and its services among the user. It also facilitates to do professional networking, gather ideas and feedback of the library services, and it also offers ease in interaction and communication with library user. It also encourages us to develop friendly interactions with library user and help in responding library user questions. Group communication, instant communication, and management of relationships with library user are also other opportunities that got more than 3.85 mean score out of 5-point Likert type scale. Other findings of this comprehensive study, we found that use of social media is still informal and unplanned. And there is an absence of institutional or library social media policy. And libraries offer very basic library services through social media, as I mentioned in my previous slides. Librarians, I also want to mention that the use of social media tools for the library services, it largely depends on the motivation, knowledge, and skill set of the professional staff, where the professional staff is very much competent. They have the skills, they have the time, most importantly, and they have the motivation to manage social media for library services. They are very much active and they are offering social media services. They are offering library services through social media. So, but in many cases, in majority of cases, this use is informal. They are not, for example, Facebook for business or WhatsApp for business, some sort of these commercialization that we see, the commercial applications that were available for an individual customer, individual end user, and has been transformed into business-related activities. But business-related platforms are missing. Only they are using same these consumer applications to publish their contents, to interact with user, and so on. Potential of social media user is, we believe, is untapped. And of course, we believe this is because of a lack of vision and the direction that what social media can help the libraries to accomplish their task and how they can be empowered. Another study that we conducted, my second author, Dr. Hina, is also there. That is about university libraries' response to COVID-19, and that is published in January issue of Journal of Academic Librarianship. It's a very comprehensive, qualitative exploration. What sort of some findings related to social media use? We found that libraries in this pandemic, they switched over to online mode of their service delivery. And they use different communication channels like email, WhatsApp, Google Meet, Zoom, and so on. Libraries innovated different methods, and for example, they.
Rafiq, can you wrap up because
I'm
we
going
have?
to finish.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, yes. They enhanced their online presence, added video tutorials, and adopted new norms of work and service. But of course, there was digital divide, lack of digital literacy among the library staff. The last slide, I will mention that if, of course, social media has a great potential for libraries, but we need to counter these challenges. First one is institutional support and policies. Second one is, of course, the lack of training and education opportunities for library community, LIS graduates. Of course, content creation is a big challenge. How librarians are not aware of, they have reservations about how they will create a quality-oriented content. And digital divide and lack of skills are there. Infrastructure problems, for example, internet connectivity was a major problem in this COVID-19. And of course, the lack of standardization, how to measure the success of a library to deliver library services through social media. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rafiq. And we have three other speakers. So each speaker will have 10 minutes each. And the next set of speakers is Dr. Bhakti Gala and Ms. Pallavi, who will talk about the educational content created by the Government of India initiatives on YouTube, the role of libraries. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Naresh. I'll just be sharing my screen. I hope that's visible now.
Not yet.
Not yet?
No.
Now?
No, the screen is not visible. Yes, no, it's present. It's loading now.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's fine.
Oh, great. Okay, so good evening and good morning to the audience from both sides of the hemispheres. It's been great listening to the previous speaker. As a chair of the ASIS&T South Asia chapter, I appreciate and acknowledge the efforts taken by Dr. Rafiq and Dr. Hina in organizing this particular webinar. Indeed, the pandemic has kind of presented multiple challenges to, especially for online teaching and learning in countries with huge digital divides. As most of the South Asian countries, we all face these challenges. In India, we are actually now marking a month of a closure of all the educational institutes in last March since the onset of the pandemic. We had just gradually begun to open our educational institutes, but again, in the last week or so, we have been shutting down most of the schools and colleges because of a second wave of infections. Today, along with my co-presenter, Pallavi, will be trying to showcase multiple initiatives which have been prepared by the Government of India and many educational institutions which are government funded, and how these, the content which has been generated by them, they're available out there for higher education as well as elementary education, and what libraries are doing to promote this content. So both Pallavi and we will be sharing this presentation. This is how I have kind of charted out. We are going to, the first 3 points I'll be covering, and later on Pallavi will be taking on from me. We'll try to finish this within the time frame given to us. Beginning with the YouTube scenario in India, it was in 2008 that YouTube India was launched, its localized version. It began with just 1% of user base, with a phenomenal increase in currently there are 342 million users, making India globally ranking second in YouTube viewership. And the content which is available in the Indian YouTube India, we have multiple languages, Indian languages such as Hindi, Bengali, Tamil, Telugu, Marathi, Urdu, English, among other Indian languages also. It was also launched in April 2020, post the lockdown, that is, which was where India started closing down for the pandemic, preparing for the pandemic, where Google India kind of launched a YouTube learning destination initiative, especially for India, and also offered learning playlists which were created, which content creators could actually prepare. This was targeted especially for students, teachers, and parents, and which had a lot of high quality learning content. As can be seen from the slide, 37% of the current users are from rural areas where we do have issues about connectivity, as mentioned by previous speakers also. And most of these users are using their mobile phones and devices to connect to YouTube and any other internet based services. And most 94% of these people are actually using YouTube to learn something new. So taking cognizance of this development, the Ministry of Education, which is the apex body in India, under which all the primary to the higher secondary education comes under, they had launched many initiatives, and we have tried to kind of just capture a few of these initiatives to bring share with everybody in the South Asia region. For the higher education, we have another body, which is the University Grants Commission, and all these bodies actually now offer a lot of their content on YouTube. I'll be kind of just making a presentation. I will just speak about a few of these from the higher education, especially focusing on NPTEL, Pathshala, and Swayam. NPTEL, the logo which is seen here, essentially is the national program which was designed on technology enhanced learning. It was founded in 2003, and it has got more than 20,000 plus videos which have been prepared by expert faculty from the premier engineering Indian institutes of technology. These videos are available under the CCBY SA licenses for everybody to use. And most of the libraries are, that is engineering libraries, are linking to this content. Similarly, we have the second initiative which I'm covering, talking about, is Swayam, which means self. This is another MOE initiative which was done in collaboration with Microsoft under Government of India's Digital India program. Swayam, which, as I said, means self, has got, it's a massive open online course, and a lot of these video modules are available on YouTube channel. This was launched in 2017. There are more than 2,000 plus courses available right now on YouTube, along with the textual content, which is also there. Similarly, we have this e-Pathshala. Pathshala in Hindi actually means school. This e-Pathshala is an initiative for postgraduate courses which are offered by universities. And this, of course, again has more than 70 subjects which are covered here. The content is available in subjects as diverse as fine arts, humanities, natural sciences, mathematical sciences. These are content which have been developed by faculty from within India. There are more than 3,000 videos also available on these websites for everybody to kind of learn from. These were about the higher education. For the elementary education, we have a premier apex body called as the National Council of Educational Research and Training, which is NCRT, which joined YouTube in 2015. And they have, again, a lot of content. One notable content which portal which they have is e-Pathshala. This is basically for the school level education, and it was launched in 2015. A lot of resources there for parents, teachers, and students, and content is available in Hindi, Urdu, and English right now for all kinds, and this has been mapped to the syllabus which is taught in the schools here in India. Similarly, we have the Government of India to join the open access movement, also launched the National Repository for Open Educational Resources in 2013. And NROER, which is, we are going to be sharing the URLs of all of these links with all of you in the text box. My co-presenter Pallavi will be sharing that. So this NROER also has a lot of content, open educational resources in multiple Indian languages made available through the CCBY SA 3.0 licenses. Similarly, we also bring to notice that even at the state level, this Atal Adarsh Shiksha basically is a municipal corporation of Delhi, and they have launched a YouTube channel for all the government schools in Delhi. These, although it is targeted towards the Delhi schools, but the content is openly available for everyone. And also CBSE, which is the Central Board for Secondary Education, which is a very big board for education in India, also has its own channel, which has from grade 1 to grade 12, all kinds of subjects have been covered here. So these are some of the YouTube Government of India initiatives which are there available on YouTube. I'm just sharing some screenshots of school libraries. We kind of found a lot of school libraries which have linked to this content which I just discussed on their library homepages, whether it was through a blog or the website. These are captured from all parts of India, from the southern part, Kerala, to the Tibetan school in Himachal Pradesh, to Delhi, and other things. Similarly, we have even university libraries. We have just taken a few snapshots, screenshots of some libraries web pages where most of these initiatives have been linked over here. I now invite my co-presenter Pallavi to take it on further.
So hello everyone. Bhakti ma'am has already tell you about that, how what is the scenario of using YouTube in India and the government initiatives of India. Now I will discuss that how library are using YouTube. Khalid Mahmood sir has already enlightened us with that. So most of the institution and their libraries are using YouTube platform for organizing and disseminating their audiovisual resources. And also libraries are creating channels and playlists on YouTube and offering opportunity to 24 into 7 learning from anywhere, anytime. If we talk about information literacy, YouTube is also helping students to become lifelong learners by enhancing their skill of searching and evaluating information. For marketing and promotion, libraries are using YouTube platform for orientation, promotion of services or collection. And the last point, like to provide the right resource to right user, libraries are mapping the quality content available on YouTube with their institution's syllabus. So in this way, libraries are already using this platform. Now I will discuss that how libraries can use. There is one more feature, YouTube Analytics, which help you to know the video performance and students' behavior on this platform. YouTube Analytics, which generate by online interaction of its viewer, help librarians to know students' behavior and their use pattern of the content of your channel. View report tells you about the viewers, their demography, age group, and retention on that video. Engagement metric help you to collect the feedback from the viewers in form of their like, dislike, and comments. Sentiment analysis, which can be evaluated by text-based analysis of comments on video, it helps to analyze the opinion whether viewers have positive, negative, or neutral feeling for the content. Above all, analysis help to measure the return on investment ratio and help libraries to take decisions like which type of content are more in demand or less in demand or not in use, which are obsoleted and need to remove to increase the space for new videos. So in this way, libraries can use these feature for the self-analysis of their content. Next, this e-learning, safe learning platform, which is designed by me under the campaign of Bharat Padhe Online initiative by Ministry of Education. This site basically collates the textual and audiovisual learning resources, which is basically available on YouTube in library information science discipline from various MHRD portals, which is mapped with the UGC net syllabus and also with our university's LIS syllabus, which help the library information science learners to get the list of content on a topic which was scattered on different platform under their own schema. So if I will tell you about that overview of that website, from April 2020 to March 2021, we have got 1,360 plus visitors from 15 countries on this page. So of course, you can also go and check this website. It is very helpful. It is categorized all those resources for LIS learners. Next. So this is website of National Digital Library of India, which is a project of Ministry of Education to help students in their learning. Has a YouTube channel of quality audiovisual resources created by intellectuals of our country. It is very useful for these days for our students.
Ms. Pallavi, can you start wrapping up, please?
Yes, sir. Hello.
Yeah, Pallavi, just wrap it up quickly.
Yes, sir. So these are some initiatives taken by some universities to promoting their institutional learning resources on YouTube. Next, ma'am, last one. So YouTube is public platform to provide free access of most of its content. It's a huge database of interactive resources. Our government and educational institutions has taken lots of initiative of this popular platform. And I should say that library professional as a matchmaker between learner and resources can play a very important role by promoting and organizing these resources as per requirement of their users, and can also measure and analyze user behavior with the content, which help to achieving the excellence in teaching and learning in this new normal. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhakti Gala and Ms. Pallavi Srivastav. And the next speaker is Dr. Saida Hina Batul, who will speak on the YouTube best practices.
Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, it is.
So, hello everyone. Yes, it's Dr. Hina from Pakistan, from Institute of Information Management. I would like to say a very warm welcome to all of the participants and all the listeners from South Asia and other parts of the world. So, Dr. Rafiq has shared very interesting facts related to social media use in Pakistan. And then Ms. Pallavi and Dr. Bhakti Gala shared very good initiative going on in India. That's a remarkable job done by Government of India in terms of YouTube education. So I'm going to share some of the best practices related to libraries. When I was conceiving the title of this webinar, so I used the word YouTube generation. So I just thought that really we are going to target the YouTube generation. Are we really marking them as a YouTube generation? So yes, the statistics told me that yes, YouTube is going to be the second largest search engine after Google. And YouTube has more than 2 billion monthly active users worldwide. And then facts also identified that 75% of adults actually watch YouTube. Then since March 2019, which was the lockdown period all over the world in COVID-19, so users watch more than 250 million hours of YouTube on TV screens and their personal devices as well. So this is a huge, figure beyond the COVID-19, that people are moving from the physical world to the virtual world. YouTube is also responsible for 37% of all mobile internet traffic. So these are the amazing facts which really drawing towards us that we really have to target the YouTube generation in this era beyond COVID-19. So when we talk about the libraries, that how libraries have to use this very emerging tool for themselves. So as my previous speakers also mentioned, Dr. Khalid mentioned, and Pallavi mentioned, that definitely libraries can use it for promotion purposes, for library tours. One of the fact I was reading, fact, or I must say a research, that people learn more through images than through text. So this is the very best opportunities for the libraries, that if they prepare the virtual library tours, so the students or the users who don't want to come to the library, when they have gone through to the virtual library tours, maybe they are attracted towards the libraries and they can come back, or you can target them rightly, that which sections are made for them. Then some of the YouTube channel on libraries, I was browsing last night, and I found that many of the Western countries' libraries, they made their special and rare correction on YouTube. They put it on YouTube through very interactive videos. So people watch those videos, people made comment on those, people ask questions about that. So that is a really very interactive medium that libraries can use to promote their special or rare collection as well. Then you can also organize events. I remember that when we have a COVID-19 lockdown in our country, so our Punjab University main library, University of the Punjab Library, they started the book club events online because they were stopped for so many months. Then they started to move it on YouTube. So the people who cannot come, they can watch it and they can continue their book club programs, because the book club programs are very popular for Punjab University libraries. So yes, you can during COVID-19 or maybe beyond that, when the people are very much familiar to the online environment, so you can continue your events, library events on YouTube. Then you can also arrange some competitions for users. Then definitely information literacy instruction is a can be best handled on YouTube through videos, through different guidelines, by making interactive videos. Then, as I already mentioned about book clubs, then I also see the best practice of storytelling. School libraries and some of the public libraries making their event of storytelling through YouTube, through their YouTube premiere, or they're also making a playlist of storytelling activities. And the children during COVID, they are really much enjoying this sort of activity on YouTube. Then you can also share your user experiences, because you know that most of the business companies, they used to promote themselves through your user experiences. So this is the best time for the libraries that they can record their user experiences and they can share. Then you can also conduct panel discussions or webinars like we are doing right now. So you can also arrange or catch or target different topics, and you can conduct a webinar. So people at their own comfort, they can watch it. Now I'm going to show you one of my another idea that how we can use YouTube through a YouTube video. So here it is. So see how the book reviews can be shared through YouTube channel as well. So do libraries need extra staff? Because I'm running my own YouTube channel, so I can answer it honestly. So yes, you need a teamwork for it. But you don't need a specialized team for it. Obviously, you need some digital literacy skills, you need some technical skills, or you may use some of the softwares for this purpose, but not really hard. There are many tutorials on YouTube, and you can learn how to run a channel through YouTube. You may involve your users. This young generation, to be honest, is very much targeted generation that you can use. I use my kids for my YouTube channel, so you can involve these your library users for this purpose. Then you can also ask student volunteers. Media students can be the best choice that you can take help or make a team of for your YouTube channel. Then business students, those who have a very good marketing sense, you can also use them for your YouTube channel for marketing it and for the digital marketing. Then not beyond that, library and information management students, yes, because they belong to library, the labs for them is the library, so definitely you can use them for this purpose. Or if you don't have any support, just use video correctors like I'm using in my video. See this next video, that how you can use animations to make very good and interactive video for your libraries. So yes, if you have to tell your users about famous author, use YouTube. You can also create YouTube series, playlist. You can create playlists for your reference interviews, for booktube series, information literacy, of course, is a very good idea. Then you can also target STI, selective dissemination of information, to target different subject faculty members and students. Then you can talk about different collections. You can ask famous personalities, maybe who are users of your library, to talk on different collections or maybe on their personal experiences of libraries. Then stories of students can be a wonderful idea to run your YouTube channel. So I hope these tips will be beneficial for all of you. Here I'm showing you some of the good examples of Pakistani libraries who are using YouTube for their marketing purpose. For example, Chuftai Public Library, they are using for storytelling session. They are organizing some of the events. So although they have a very limited subscribers, but they are doing very good job. They mostly play their things on Facebook. Then we have a very good channel, British Council Pakistan. They are running their channel very good. They have a very good 2.85K subscribers. They have videos on collections, on different personalities, on the virtual tours of the libraries, and they have many more things on this channel. And then we have Punjab University library channel. They are organizing many book clubs over here, famous talks of the people. The famous personalities are discussing and talking different books. Recently, Dr. Khalid Mahmood has also reviewed one of the big book on mixed method. So that is a very good idea of using YouTube channel for the promotion and for the interactive users activities on YouTube. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hina. So this is the website which I said, it is called Project Oneness World, and it's projectonenessworld.com. And this was an interview of my outgoing dean, Professor Eileen Abels, that I had conducted in June 2018. And the first part was on life and inspiration, and then on social justice and design thinking, teaching and innovation, and on fake news and critical thinking and life lessons. And this was just an intro video. And the purpose of Project Oneness World is to gather human stories through interviews, to inspire other human stories, and to connect people with the knowledge of people. So I think there'll be more videos coming in to this soon. But I just wanted to share this while we were waiting for Samit to get his mic up. So let's see if he's ready now, and I'll stop sharing.
Maybe Hina, if we could get in touch with maybe Ruwan, maybe he can call up Samit and.
Okay, let me try on WhatsApp maybe. So Naresh, can you take some questions?
Yes,
because people are asking in chat box.
He's on.
So he's on now? Oh yeah, I can see that he's unmuted. Samit, can you say something? We can't hear you. You're unmuted now, but we still can't hear you. Okay, we can see your screen as well. Yeah.
I think Naresh, we can request him to use some external microphone or a headphone. That might work, because it seems on his laptop or machine it is muted.
On his machine is muted? Okay.
Because I had a similar problem just before we started this. I had to then, use headphones.
Yeah, I think, Samit, you heard that what Dr. Bhakti suggested. Yeah, so I think while we're waiting, I have a question for Dr. Rafiq. In one of your slides, you mentioned that 53.6% of the world population uses YouTube now. Now, that's a very high statistic. But I was also thinking that that means that about what 46.4% of the world population does not use social media. I think this was on social media, probably the statistic. So which means that while we think that we have a wide reach, we also know that there's a digital divide. So how do we bridge that? Dr. Rafiq, any thoughts on that?
Yes, exactly, Naresh.
And you're muted. You're muted.
Yes, I think so. It's okay now.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Same. These are our findings of our 2021 study. That is exactly same. The major problem is the digital divide, digital skills, the lack of digital skills. How we can bridge, of course, as we see the honorable speakers of this symposium, this webinar, they also told the ways. For example, Dr. Saida Hinabatul, she said that digital skills may be promoted through YouTube videos, and this may be a very good instrumental way to reach such people. Second problem is, for example, in our region, of course, there is a internet penetration. This is not adequate internet penetration, and still, for example, in our study, we also found major problem is internet connectivity. For example, in our teaching classes, many of our students who are living in very far areas, and they face a lot of problems to be connected with. Sometimes they are just outside of their village and trying to get some good signals and to attend our classes, and some sort of these problems. But of course, this media, for example, YouTube, it's a very good of they can watch it as per their schedule, as per their time routines, as and most importantly, as they get good signals of internet and so on. So this may be instrumental to reach the people at the maximum. But of course, we also need to be certain that we are not going to add some new dilemma, some good addition in information overload. Of course, this is a major problem. What we see the recommendations and so on. But most encouraging is, as Dr. Hina mentioned, that YouTube is also a good multimedia website, but it is also used the second most highest used search engine. So this may be. So I believe that libraries and library professionals, information managers, information scientists, and other academias, they also need to work to use these tools, YouTubes and so on, other social media tools, to make such contents, to offer access to such content.
Thank you, Dr. Rafiq. Yeah, my question is for Hina. I know you started a channel a few months ago, and my question is, what motivated you to start the channel, and what is the biggest difficulty you have faced so far, and how you've overcome it?
That's a very good question. Naresh, I started it 2 years back, and it was the idea of my children that everybody is on YouTube. So, Mom, you have so many stuff. So why don't you start a YouTube channel? Because they said that whenever we have to, have any difficulty in terms of learning and education, so we usually do so. Then COVID started, and I was also free because we are already on online mode. So I thought it to give a start. So initially I started 10 videos, animated, with my husband and with my children, because technically I need their help. I had the stuff, I had the content, but definitely the technical help I took from them. So right now I'm managing my channel since 2 years, but to be honest, the time management is very important here, because YouTube want your consistency. So you have to upload a video, maybe if you can't do daily, but weekly. Because if you don't do so, then YouTube in your searching, they mark you down. So you have to up in the YouTube searching. For that, you have to be consistent on YouTube. So for this reason, I really have to do or make my time management skills very good. Every week, I have to be with my technical team, sit with them at home, and I have to make videos. So this is my experience.
And how many people do you have helping you at this moment?
Three people, three boys.
Okay, so yeah, so that's good. That's good help. Yeah.
And definitely they know the software, how to use that software, the animated kind of software, because otherwise we won't be able to do or make the animated videos. We can only make the simple videos then.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm Samit Tanuja from National Library of Sri Lanka, and recently we are handling a YouTube channel. 3 months back we started it. Actually, we started it 2017, but now we realize that the quality of the productions should be in a higher level. That because of viewers are expecting that the quality of the production. So we thought we should start a new one. So we have a new channel now. So moving on, why we should focus on YouTube? So based on our topic, so you can see people are now behaving like this, right? Increasing virtual community. So people in this COVID-19 pandemic situation, we saw that people cannot go here and there, and they had to spend their time at home. Because of that, the number of YouTube users increased. Now we can see people are physically in somewhere, but most of them are mentally spending their time in this space. So we know people are already there, but the thing is just you have to go there as librarians or library, right? And let me show some stats about Sri Lankan context. Internet users, 22 million, around 22 million population we have, and mobile connections we have 30 million, around 30 million, and internet users 10 million. Okay, let me talk about stats. And 22 million, around 22 million population in Sri Lanka, and out of that 30 million mobile connections we have, and internet users 10 million, and active social media users 7.9 million out of that 10 million internet users. And YouTube is a digital library, as I said, because we know we have physical buildings as libraries, and we have books and other publications in it. In the same way, YouTube has a big space, and there are billions of content creators all over the world under different category. So this is a digital library. So if you don't have a digital library, if some library has not a digital library, this is a good platform for them to start a digital library. So why videos are important? You have to put an effort to read a book, isn't it? So when you're reading a book, you have to be in a good mood, a calm mode. Otherwise, it's difficult to read the book. Or you should buy a book, or you have to go to the library and read the book. So therefore, the effort is a little bit high that you have to put. But so when we take a video, it's a less effort to watch a video. Just you have to click the play button and watch and listen to the video. And therefore, as a library, it's very easy to communicate your message to your audience with these videos. And media stations in Sri Lanka also, media stations nowadays, they are moving traditional things to digital platforms. So we all know TV stations and radio stations and newspapers. So they have their own ways of telecasting things or publishing things. But now they know that people are not watching TV more. They are not listening to radios. So younger people are watching YouTube. TV programs also, they have their TV channels also, they have their own YouTube channels, and radio channels also, they have their YouTube channels in Sri Lanka. So they are telecasting it, and then again they are uploading it to the YouTube channel, and then people like to watch without advertisements. They can skip the advertisement and watch the video. So that is the transformation in these days in Sri Lanka. Media stations are also moving traditional to digital platforms. And other reasons to start a YouTube channel as the National Library, so we thought no entry barriers. So anyone can start a YouTube channel and anyone can watch videos. So there are no entry barriers. So viewers are all around the world, no limitation, no limitation. We can grab foreign viewers as well, no physical boundaries. So in Sri Lanka, I'm in Sri Lanka, so if American person can watch my videos. So if you are thinking about creating a YouTube channel, don't go and just create a YouTube channel. Think about these things, right? Quality of your video production, because the viewers, so let's say viewers or readers, so they are thinking about the quality of the production. So if your video is not in a good quality, so they will watch it first time, then they won't come again. So the quality of the production is very important, because first impression is very important. And quality of the content quality. So if you have a library, you have a plenty of content. You have to create that one so transform that one into a video. Just make a script and do a video in a proper manner. And identify that what is your exact target audience or target market. So if you are running a educational channel, if you are running a comedy or funny videos, making funny videos or something like that, or even you are doing music channel, so you have to identify your target audience correctly, because when you are setting up those videos, YouTube channels, so there are selections to do for categories. So sometimes we are doing educational things. So we have to, if you are doing research based videos, so you don't want to show those things to children. So therefore, there is a exact audience. So you have to identify your exact audience. And you should have a content plan. Without a proper content plan, don't go to start a YouTube channel, because it should be continuously uploaded. So YouTube is an algorithm. It is so it's checking your activities. So what is this person is doing here, and is it continuously doing the thing, or one after a year they are uploading videos? So contents, you should have a content plan. And as contents, so as the National Library, we are doing recently a human library concept. So like a talk show, and we can do book reviews and storytelling and discussions and etc. And some secrets about YouTube. Use an attractive thumbnail to your video is really important, because the first impression is the main thing. Thumbnail shows us as your cover photo, right? Your video's cover photo. So the impression is very important, because when I see one video, if I want to watch it, so my attraction should go to that. So therefore, the thumbnail should be in a proper way. And keywords, put some keywords. What are the words that people are mostly searching? Those keywords we have to put in your description, or there are some places to use your keywords. And if you can do SEO, search engine optimization, your channel will be top up in Google, in YouTube, everywhere. So if you can do search engine optimization, that will be better. And tags, use some tags. Those are only related with your video content. So some people are using different tags in their YouTube channel under one video. So those are not working correctly. And continuity. So I earlier also mentioned continuity is must. because if you are doing a YouTube channel or weekly or monthly or twice a week, twice a month, you have to keep that continuous uploading method to reach a good audience.
Hi, Samit, can you start wrapping up?
Yes.
Can you start
And
wrapping
also,
up?
yeah. And also, you can earn money through YouTube. The minimum requirement of 100 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours you have to earn. So that's it about my presentation. I think presentation did show you. Yeah, that's all.
Thank you so much, Samit. So I know we have we are above time right now. Hina, do we have time for more questions, or should we wrap up?
I think we should wrap up because we are already running short of
Yeah, we are
24
above time. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you so much for everyone for connecting at this time. I know there are different time zones, and some of you are getting late for dinner and for other engagements and stuff. So, and sorry about the technical glitch today, but it's also shows some of the issues that we have both in interacting online and in social media production. So I think this was a live example of some real issues, as Dr. Khalid Mohammed said earlier. So I think it really shows the opportunities as well as barriers that we face in this working with the media and reaching out to people in this way.